Hello guys and welcome back to the Gaming Lounge. As you can see, I'm at my season highest and I'm at my personal best highest, and it's been good. I've been playing off screen a lot. I've been doing really good. I've been really just trying to get to that 4,900. We still got 17 days left in the season. I'm gonna be waiting till the end of the season to start pushing again. I'm pretty high, pretty early, halfway through the season, and I don't really want to go on a tilt. I feel like I'm going to be tilting soon, so I'm going to just play some 2v2 and maybe do some challenges and just lose a lot so that I can get my tilt away, so when I go back to the ladder I can keep pushing pretty strong. But as you guys can see, I think this season in October with all these updates, I think it kind of revived the game. It made the game more interesting. It made the game fun again. For a long time the game was just becoming stale and boring, and you kept seeing the same decks over and over and over. And now that people are doing different quests, they're doing different challenges, it's really all those people that used to be playing Hog Mortar. They're kind of like playing different game modes, so it's giving people who play different decks a different variety back on the ladder. I'm not finding as much Hog decks, Mortar decks anymore ever since I got into the 4,700. When I was around 4,400, 45, and 4,600, I kept just seeing Hog. But once I was able to pass 4,600 and get into 4,700, Hog players kind of stopped. I stopped seeing them, which is nice. Now let's just go ahead and get into a replay against a guy who just kind of left. So let's go ahead and watch this Golem game. He pretty much had a max out deck. I made a very bad mistake. I'm going to be talking about that mistake in this video. But you guys are probably wondering why I hate the Hog and why I hate Mortar decks so much. The reason why I hate them is because there's currently 3 cards that I think, in my opinion, need to be nerfed. I think if these 3 cards got nerfed, it would make the game, you will see so many different variety of decks. And the reason why I think these 3 cards are ruining the game is because they're overused, they're commons and 1 rare, and they're just too powerful for the elixir that you get. They just stop beatdown pushes way too easily, and they make cycle decks just extremely deadly in the first 2 minutes. And as you guys know, I've been a P.E.K.K.A player pretty much the whole time I've been playing that game. That was a bad zap. I activated the king. I was kind of lagging, but I mean, it was still a bad zap. Bad placement. And ever since I got the P.E.K.K.A and P.E.K.K.A Playhouse, I've been playing the P.E.K.K.A before she even got popular, and before Dark Prince got any type of buffs. When I received the Dark Prince in the Royal Arena, I've been playing Dark Prince, P.E.K.K.A, mini P.E.K.K.A pretty much the whole time I've been playing the game. And that's why I like this deck a lot, and that's why I'm very comfortable with this deck. But the thing is, I've always had trouble against Hog players because they could out-cycle me the first 2 minutes. If I make one small mistake, and if the Hog Knight gets on the tower's completely dead. If they get me, this is the mistake. This push right here was an extremely bad push. I was able to get the arrows in time, but the level 10 mini P.E.K.K.A with the King Tower being activated, it just goes down way too fast. If I didn't activate that King Tower, I would have killed the tower, and I think I would have beaten this guy. But because I zapped and activated the King Tower, because I did that push instead of defending the Golem push, it made me lose the game. So anyways, back to my rant about why I don't like the Hog and why I don't like Mortar. And so they just out-cycle you so fast. I don't think they take a lot of skill to play, because all you do is, you have such a fast cycle, you could get back to your Hog within like 10 seconds, because all you need to do is like play skeletons, play a cannon, and you're back to your Hog. And I don't think that really takes skill if all you need to do is spam Hog at the bridge, and it's at least always going to get 1 to 2 hits on the tower. All you gotta do is just keep spamming Hog, and you're able to defend with just the Knight. I think that needs to be fixed. I think if those 3 cards, the Knight, Archers, and Hog got nerfed, I think it would make Mortar decks will pretty much be gone. They will go away. You would no longer see Hog Rider decks as much. It would actually be hard to play a Hog Rider deck. Cycle decks would be you'd have to be a skillful player for them to work, actually. And I think that's how the game should be when you get to these high trophies. You shouldn't just rely on just overpowered commons. Now, and that's why I don't like those cards. They're just too strong for the elixir that you have to use in order to play them, and you can't really mess up a Hog Rider. Now, people say that the Hog has a lot of counters to it. Not really, because if you out-cycle your opponent, you're going to be able to out-cycle so that they can't counter the card. as easily. And the hog is just so fast. If you play at the bridge, if you don't respond within 1 second, it's already on your tower. Like, that's how fast the hog rider is. If you don't have the tornado ready, if you don't have the placement ready, once the hog gets halfway to the tower, it's not going to get distracted by a building. It just won't. You have, before it jumps over the bridge, you pretty much have to have the building down in the correct placement to get it in order to beat it. That's just the truth. And that's because the hog is just such a fast unit. It's just a fast unit, and it's just really hard. It's actually really hard to counter if you're not. I mean, just because it's in such a cheap cycle deck. Now, that's why I don't like the Hog Rider deck. Now, obviously, the Hog Rider has always been meta. It's always been part of the game. It's always been a popular deck ever since the game came out. If you guys remember, when the game just came out, the Hog, Valkyrie, Canyon, the trifecta, the Hog trifecta deck, that was like the #1 deck for the longest time, and it's just always been a top tier deck. No matter what season, no matter what stage of the game, just because it's never had really a nerf, they haven't done anything to get rid of that type of decks. Now that's just my opinion. I don't know why they changed beatdown decks. They've changed pretty much every other deck except for the Hog Cycle deck. They haven't really done anything to make it not part of the game for at least a season. As you can see, beatdowns kind of got resurrected when the Golem got a buff, and when P.E.K.K.A. became kind of popular after the CCGS. And a lot of people don't play P.E.K.K.A. and ladder because it's only that's the thing. Ladder versus challenges, you got two different game modes, just because you have different card levels. I kind of talked about this in my previous videos. As challenges is a completely different game than the ladder. It really is. It's a huge different game, and I like it, the fact that it's different, because different decks work in challenges and different decks work in ladder, and I think that's fun. It gives it a variety of decks you could use, and I'm okay with that. I don't mind different decks working in different game modes. I don't think that's a problem. Now, but when you have a deck that's good in every single game mode, when you have a card that's good in every single game mode, such as the Hog, and it just needs to change. And that's just my opinion. So as you can see, I've been pretty much winning against this guy the whole time, but he gets pretty close to beating me, and it gets kind of nervous at the end because we only have 15 seconds left. He has his Royal Giant, Max Royal Giant just coming to town. My tower's at 1300. Just because he plays a Royal Giant, it gets it down to 700 HP. He goes ahead and plays the miner. I get the bandit. I get the arrows down, and I'm able to get the bandit to the tower. Now, if I wouldn't have played the arrows, the archers would have countered the bandit. And that's what I'm talking about. The archers is really strong for a common that a level 3 bandit can't get through archers. They're both 3 elixir, and the fact that if you just play the archers where pretty much he placed them, which is not a good placement, it stops the push. Now since I did the arrows, my bandit was able to pretty much one-shot them, which is what they needed. If the bandit would have taken 2 shots to kill the second archer, she wouldn't have gotten to the tower. And so that's why I have that's why I don't like the Hog Rider deck, and that's why I don't think it's a skill for a deck. I've only played the Hog Rider deck once, and that was in a challenge, and I 3-crowned the guy, and I was like, yeah, this is stupid. But I mean, that's why I don't like the card. You may say I don't like it just because I'm a beatdown player and the Hog Rider counters my deck, and that's true. It does. I mean, every deck has a weakness, and the Hog is just my weakness. And since it's so popular and it's always been a popular card, I've always had to fight it a lot. And so I mean, I've gotten pretty good at fighting the Hog deck just because I've played it against it so much. But when you keep fighting the same deck over and over, especially if it's a deck that counters your deck, it doesn't become fun, because it's just not fun. And so this game was actually really cool. This was a really close game. I'm really surprised that I was able to 3-crown this guy, especially because his Fireball completely takes out my E-Wiz. And he's just gonna... I muted this guy. I mean, I mute almost everyone. I don't like when they use emotes. It's just distracting. And so in the beginning of the game, I would say good luck, and I'd do my thumbs up, and then I just mute them. just so I could focus on playing the game. And this was actually a really fun game. This guy did a pretty good job. I had to use the bats to counter the Inferno Tower, so I didn't have anything for the balloon. And the balloon naked just destroys. Level 7 balloon, if you don't touch it, it's gonna take out a tower. That's just the balloon for you. And so I said to myself, I'm not gonna even try to go for the second king tower. I'm just gonna go for the 3 crown. I know that he's gonna try to go for the second tower. That's almost how every single that's almost how every single hound deck plays. They get 1 crown, and they go for the second crown, and they go for the 3 crown. And so in order to beat it, I just have to go straight for the 3 crown. I don't know why he fireball right though, because the electric wizard was in front, and I think the electric wizard would have gotten shot by both towers, and it would have just lost. It just would have been killed. And so I had to go ahead and what did I use? Did I use the bandit? No, I didn't do anything. I'm just kind of waiting for my elixir. I'm waiting for the Inferno Dragon to cross the bridge so I could go bandit pet mini P.E.K.K.A. Because I'm just going 3 crown. I'm just going to play all my elixirs on the right hand side, and I'm just not going to care about the hound. And it's a risky play, because if he just keeps defending it, I mean, I'm going to lose. That's just the nature of the beast. But since I know that I don't know why he placed his balloon right there. I think he had to have messed up. There's no way he meant to play. This is no way he meant to play that card. So he's able to use his Skarmy, which was a pretty good play. This bandit's gonna get there. I don't know why he's not playing the Goblin again. If he played it too late, my bandit has already gotten to the tower, and that's game. I mean, he probably would have 3 crowned me if I didn't get the win, because that balloon I think had half life. I wasn't really paying attention. But I mean, that's why I don't like the Hog Rider deck. That's why I have such a passion. That's why I don't like the Hog Rider deck. That's why I don't like any cycle deck. Just because it just punishes it punishes me at least. And I probably just have to become a better player. But when I'm able to defend a mortar deck, I get the P.E.K.K.A. down in the back, I get a Dark Prince behind it, I get Electric Wizard behind it, and I get a Bandit behind it. And all he has to do is bandit. I mean, all he has to do is play a knight in the middle, play archers on the far left-hand side, and play skeletons just randomly, and it stops the push. I think that's a problem. I think if you're using a knight to tank that push, if the Dark Prince hits it when it's speeding, and it gets hit by the bandit, and it gets hit by a P.E.K.K.A. hit, it should automatically be dead. But somehow it's still alive, and so. Maybe it's because I don't have max cards, and when I fight against max mortar players, they just have max cards. So maybe it's just a card level advantage, but I don't know. I think I have pretty high levels for kind of where I'm at. I mean, I almost have a max out mini P.E.K.K.A. I almost have a max out P.E.K.K.A. The only thing that's really weak is a bandit, electric wizard, bats, and zap. So pretty much half my decks. Only 2 cards are pretty. I mean, 3 cards. Arrows are pretty good. They're almost max out. So I got 1, 2, 3. I got a little bit more than half my deck. That's kind of under level. Really, when you get this high, when you're fighting against max players, I really have to get a level 4 electric wizard, just because it would be able to survive a level 9. I think a level 10 fireball. It would be able to survive if I upgrade it, which is just huge. And I mean, level 3 bandit's really good. It's way better than the level 2. I could definitely notice the difference, but I really need to upgrade the bandit as well. You really need level 4 legendaries if you really want to get to 5,000, I think. That's just kind of my opinion. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm probably going to be out of town when you're watching this video next week. Hopefully I'm definitely going to get 1 video on next week, on next Wednesday, and then I got the King's Cup 2, which when I come back from King's Cup 2, I'm going to make a video and show you some footage, show you some pictures, and hopefully I'm able to meet most of the YouTubers and get some pictures with them, so that when I come back, I'm going to make a video about the trip, about the King's Cup 2, so that you guys could see what it's like. I know you could watch it on stream, but I mean, when you see it from someone's perspective, when taking pictures, you just see a lot more than you do from the stream. You only see the players on the stage, and they don't really give you the full experience of the King's Cup 2. So hopefully I'm able to provide that to you guys when I come back. Anyway, guys, I really am appreciative of all the supporters who watch these videos and who's been subscribing. Let's just keep on sharing the videos, and hopefully we could get more subscribers from King's Cup 2. I got my business cards, which look pretty cool. I'm going to show them on my next video before I go to King's Cup 2 what they look like. They look pretty cool. Anyways, I hope you guys have a good night and keep on clashing.